everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Today we're going to have fun because we're going to do kind of a cool layout. And I just wanted to try this kind of thing, and I was playing around with it last night, and I thought this looked kind of cool, so I thought I'd share it with you today. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hello, I'm back at home again.
I know. We've been having so many little projects fixed on our house, little odds and ends, and Tom's stuck at home. But at
I'm
least,
gonna, I think I'm gonna build a new dead space.
oh, that's a good idea. You'll have a dead space at home just in case, right?
One dead space is not enough.
Well, are you having a good day otherwise?
Having a great day,
All,
yeah.
all
Looking
right.
forward to your ideas and inspiration and flying by the seat of your pants as you do.
I'll do my best. I really will. I was actually thinking about possibly using that pattern paper that I used from the last live because I had a little piece of it left. So I might mix that into today's project. So we'll see. Although I do have these beautiful pattern papers from our collection that also would look really beautiful. So I kind of have to decide what I want to do here. Maybe I'll go with some yellows. We'll see. But anyway, Tom, do you have a word of the day for later?
I have a word of the day for later.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. All right. Well, we will definitely get back with that, right?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to show you what I'm going to use. So I've got our double stitched circles here and our single stitched circles. And I'm going to use one of these circle dies to create this cool layout. Oh, and before I even go any further, I just saw Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you for being here. Shout out to Brianne in the web space. Brianne is here moderating and sharing links for all of you. So if there's anything that you can't find on the website, Brianne is your girl. She's gonna share those links with you. All right, so these are two separate die sets. I keep them together on a magnet because it's just convenient since I use them together so often. But I have got the single stitched and the double stitched. Now the big difference between these two die sets is they work similarly and you can use them for the same thing, except one has a single stitched edge and one has a double stitched edge. But when you put them together, you actually will end up getting a shadow layer if you use the single stitched circle in a different color and you use this in white. Or you can get the reverse where this can make an inside shadow layer if you use this one on the outside. And we might do that today. Haven't decided 100% yet because, as you know, I'm always flying by the seat of my pants. Now, I also thought about using master layouts too, but I'm not sure if I want the stitching on this card yet. And then for stamp sets, I was thinking about either using our new Cherry Blossom set. This is the one that's in the Sunny Days and Breezy Nights kit, or possibly using Wishful Florals that was in another card kit. I know so many of you have our card kits, so you probably have all of these. Or our Peaceful Petals. And this was something that I designed for Scrapbook and Cards Today, the spring event, and then this has been available in our store since. I like this one because it looks really nice with circle images like this. However, I want to be able to see the opening that I create. So I think some single flowers, maybe even this cherry blossoms, might be the way to go. Actually might mix and match these two together a little bit, but we'll get to that. So to start, I think it would be really fun to use this piece of leftover pattern paper. This I got at Michael's. I can't even remember which book it's from. Let me just go over here for a second. Oh, here it is. So it's from this book, Blue Meadow, Prairie Blue, it's called. Rena and I were at Michael's buying flowers, buying silk flowers for her wedding, and she told me that she wanted to do some 12 by 12 scrapbooking. well, I don't have any 12 by 12 papers in the Gina K collection. And so we started looking at the papers, and I don't know, we bought like 6 or 7 different books, because then she was like, this would be fun for my honeymoon, and this would be fun for my bachelorette party. And you know how that goes, right? One minute you're there for flowers, and the next minute you've got 7 packs of pattern paper in your cart. But we are going to do something fun with this today, because this was left over from my video the other night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down to 3.5 inches. 3.5. And then I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger here, because I want a little bit of this blue that's down here. And then I'm going to cut that to 4 3/4 of an inch. So this way I get some of this, what looks like a watercolored field, and then I get some of this which almost looks a little bit like a sky. So, you know, now that we've got these, you know, a few pattern papers here, it's kind of fun to use them. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut a circle like this into this piece of pattern paper. I want to cut that edge off there. So, what do you guys think of that? If I cut it just like that, I could go even a little bit smaller, but I think this will be okay. You know, it's kind of nice to see. Maybe I will cut it just a little bit thinner. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut it just a little bit thinner here. So maybe I will make this 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So this will be a little bit thinner, and I think that'll be okay. This way I get a little bit more of that circle cut off. Okay, now I'm going to use a black piece of cardstock. So let me find a black piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to do a layer that is 1/8 of an inch bigger. So I cut it to 3 1/4, so I'm going to go up another 1/8 of an inch there to 3 3/8. And then this was at 4 3/4, so I'm going to go up to 4 7/8. So that should give me a shadow layer. We don't have a master layout set that will do that, but that will give me a shadow layer for that. So let's go ahead and tape these together. I'm going to tape them together first. Now I am going to put a lot of tape on here. And I know that seems like kind of a waste, but I don't think it will be, because I'm going to cut a big section of this out, and I'm going to have some flapping over the edge. If you don't like using that much tape, you could certainly use Connect glue instead. But let's go ahead and layer these two together. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my die cutting machine. And welcome everybody. It's great to see all of you coming in. I know a lot of people work this time of day, so it's not always easy to get here, but we really appreciate you coming by. Now this die, I want to look at one more die, because we've got Master Layouts 8, and this has a big circle die too. So I want to look at this die, because maybe I could... Yeah, see, that is a little bit smaller. Now we do have a stitch die here. That's about the same size. So I think this one is going to work just fine. Okay, I had to look. But if you have Master Layouts 8 and you don't have our stitched circles, you can use Master Layouts 8 instead, because it's got the perfect circles for this. Okay, so now we're going to cut this out. And I'm going to use a little bit of Masking Magic strips to hold this into place. You can use pixie tape if you want, or any low-tack tape. How's everybody doing? I know the pattern paper is pretty, isn't it? Okay, so now I have that in place. I have to put my machine on die cut, and I'm gonna just tighten the dial a little bit since I'm not just going through that piece of cardstock, but I'm going through that piece of cardstock and a piece of pattern paper. So hopefully this'll cut. I'm gonna go backwards too. Okay, and now let's see if that cut out. Oh, it did. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Let's see it better against white. All right. So we've got our little shadow layer. Now we can also add a shadow layer underneath if we want. So let me show you how to accomplish that. Okay, so we're going to take another piece of black cardstock, and we're going to use the double stitched version. So the first one was cut with this version. We're going to cut with this one now, and I'm going to cut pretty close to the edge here. And let's cut this out. All right. Now we have this piece right here. I'm just going to take my fingernail. Just be careful that you don't give yourself a paper cut if you do this. But if you've had your single stitched and double stitched dies as long as I have, and you've cut millions of cuts with it, including hundreds of class kits and everything else over the years, you may need to just remove some of the frays. Now you can see we can create that shadow layer under there like that. Isn't that pretty cool? I love that. What do you think of that, Tom?
I am watching here. Yeah,
It's pretty cool, huh?
it's very cool.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this onto this shadow layer here. So I want to get this little point. I want to get tape onto that little point down there because I want that to be down there. And again, you can use glue if it's easier for you. See, what am I doing here? Okay. So it doesn't matter which way you put it on because basically we're going to cut everything else off anyway, but we're going to line that up so we've got an inner shadow layer to go along with that outer shadow layer. Okay. And now, actually, I'm going to just lift that and I'm going to get my scissors and I'm just going to cut away this excess under here. I could have cut that down with a paper cutter first, but I don't have to worry about it looking real good because we have that nice edge there. And I'm going to do the same over here. Just going to cut it rough with a pair of scissors. And then I'm going to be gentle here, go right along the edge of the black piece. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I feel like I need to... There we go. It's easier to cut this way, but... So there. Now we've got that cute little inside thing. That's what I love about having both of those stitched dies because they work in both directions, right? You can get the outside layer or you can get the inside shadow, and I love both for different things. Okay, so now, what's the paper pack that's from? It's from Michaels. It's called Blue Meadow, Prairie Blue. You can always go back, just reverse a little bit onto the video. I actually show it if you want to take a screenshot of it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do something in the background, but I don't want it to be something colorful or anything, but I don't want it to just be plain white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to cut this cardstock down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by, oh, that's too short. That's because this is, remember I told you guys I always take the pieces that are like cut wrong or that have bent corners. And so it was one of those by 5 1/2. Okay. And that will go right there in the center of my card like that. And I don't mind that it's a little bit skinny. It's okay that it's a little bit skinny. It's just going to give me a little bit more room over here to like have things extend out through that side. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss this because I don't want it to be just plain. So I'm going to use our Happy Hearts embossing folder. I just want to give it a little bit of texture. So once again, I'm going to use my die cutting machine. We don't have any new pattern papers in our next release, but we do have other designs on the horizon. Okay, so now I got to put this to die cut, and then I'm going to put my platform down. This is on 2D die cutting, and I'm going to run it through the machine the same exact way that I just ran the die cut through the machine. And let's take a look at this. Oh, that's such a pretty embossing folder. And what I like about this embossing folder, and I do like about 2D embossing folders in general, is they're unassuming, if you know what I mean. Like 3D embossing folders are like showstoppers, right? They're the focal image, and even when you use them as backgrounds, sometimes they can be a little difficult to use as a background because they're so bumpy and they've got all different levels and stuff. But this is just, 2 levels. It's the hearts and then the back. And it's just subtle enough to make this not look so plain, right? It just gives us just a little bit of something there. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so now we're going to play off of these colors in this pattern paper. And what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to go with those cherry blossoms, but we're not going to make cherry blossoms. We're going to make blue flowers, because flowers in stamping can be anything. They don't have to be exactly what the label says. Something can say it's a wildflower, or it can say whatever, but you can make it whatever kind of flower you want. So let's start with the Misty, and I've got our double background grit mat in here. This is 2 backgrounds on the back that you can use to stamp designs, and then it's flat on the top so it can be used as a grit mat. So I'm just going to pop it up here into the top corner, and then I am going to stamp some of these flowers and leaves. So I'm going to stamp this flower, this flower, this flower, this one, and I'll do some leaves. Okay. Now, I've taught this before, and I can show you again. If you have trouble, and a lot of this has to do with climate and a lot of other things, but if you have trouble getting your ink to not bleed when you're ink blending, what you can do, and I do this a lot, is you can start with an ink like Craft, which is dark enough to see, but light enough to not really bleed or cause a lot of problems with most colors. So I'm going to stamp it with Craft first. Now remember, my cardstock is up here in this top corner, right? I've got it butted up against the top and the side here. so that when I put it back in later, it's going to stamp in the same exact spot as long as I have the cardstock placed in that same position. And then don't take your stamps off once you've stamped them, because we're going to stamp them again in black, but I just wanted to get the impression in the lighter color here. Now let's pick some ink colors that we want to use. Let's see here. We'll pick, what I like to do, especially if I'm trying to match pattern paper, is let's look at the greens first. So I'll just take a little scrap of paper here and I'll look at these greens. Now I think for the greens, the spruces might be the good mix here, because look at how this color looks very similar. You know what I mean? Where if I picked something like Jelly Bean, there's so much yellow in Jelly Bean. I think the spruce might look better. But the way to really tell is to just take a little bit of this color and put it on here, because when you see it, you might like the Jelly Bean green better. Let's look at these together now. Which one do you like better? There's the Jelly Bean. There's the spruce. I kind of like the Jelly Bean better. I think the Jelly Bean looks better. I think there's both spruce and Jelly Bean in here. But when I hit the Jelly Bean next to it, the yellow comes out more. If I didn't have the Jelly Bean green in there, it would play off of some of the spruce. You see how like there's spruce up here? But I kind of like the Jelly Bean. So I'm going to go with the Jelly Bean for the... Boy, that spruce, though, that really looks good. We could do both. There's no reason why we can't have more than one green. Because I'm just looking at the comments, and all of you guys are like, spruce, Jelly Bean, spruce, Jelly Bean. So maybe we'll do both. And you know what else we could do? Let's get one more little piece of cardstock here. And I'm going to leave this in here too. I'm going to color right on here. But let's color these two leaves. So this way we can have a mix of spruces and jelly beans. And I'm going to leave this piece of cardstock here. So this way I can do all of that right on here. And then I can stamp this one in black next. So I'm not taking this off. This way I didn't have to move my stamps. Okay. So for blues, let's pick some blues that look good here. There's like a lot of like moonlit fog, but then there's this kind of periwinkle lilac-y color. So let's first look at light lilac and see how that looks. Ooh, that's a good one. That looks really pretty with that lilac right there, doesn't it? That would be very pretty. And then let's pick a blue, because there's some blue in here. This looks like moonlit fog to me, but I don't want to have moonlit fog flowers. So I think I'll stick with this, and then maybe I'll add a tiny bit of powder blue. Here's the powder blue. Powder blue looks kind of good too. There's definitely some powder blue in there. Okay. The Chucky tool is available in white right now. And I have a white one right here. The white one is available. The turquoise ones will be available soon. Okay, so now I've got to get my trusty ink stands. And Brianne Loveland, can you link your ink stands? Because people always ask. Brianne, who is in the chat right now helping us, is also the inventor of this genius thing. So she will link it for you to her store, because we don't carry it in our store, but she carries it in her store. And that's where you should get it. All right. So I'm going to use the coloring stencil for this, and I'm going to color these flowers in a combination of the light lilac and the powder blue. So I want to make sure I've got my stencil turned in the right direction so that I can read the word cherry blossoms. Cadet blue probably would look good too. Yeah, I agree with that. That would look good. Okay, I'm going to start here. And I'm not worried about going outside the lines too much because this is all going to get die cut. So let's pick a blending brush. Have a blending brush. I'm going to take this one. I don't have just a plain light lilac blending brush. Okay. Now I do always like to have a little bit of cardstock off to the side so I can just dab off any like blotches. And then I'm going to go ahead and start in the center and just work in a circular motion and bring that color out. Okay. Then I'm going to do the next one, which is here. And how's everybody doing? Welcome, everybody. I hope you're having a great week. This week was a long week. Anybody else feel like it was a long week? Looking forward to the weekend? I'm kind of excited for the weekend. All right. I'm going to play in my craft room a little bit this weekend, too. I'm very excited about that. Where you are, Tom?
Yes.
All right.
Somebody asked if we have different spaces in the house to do our things, and we do.
Yes, we do. We do. Tom, you have kind of a man cave.
Yeah. And you have the rest of the house.
And I have the rest of the house. It works out great. I'm going to leave you in for a little bit. Okay, so now... So now I'm going to do the this part here, which is these little extra pieces, the little extra floofies around the edge, the ruffles around the edge of the flowers, and I'm going to do those in powder blue. So let's go ahead and do that. I think powder blue and light lilac are a good combination if you don't want it to be too purple, because light lilac is a very blue purple, and then having that little bit of extra blue in there makes it lean more toward the blue and less toward the purple. More periwinkle. Do you want to stay in, Tom? I could take you out.
I'm good.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
We're going to need your word of the day soon, too. But let me...
Well...
Uh-oh.
I know we had a word of the day scheduled, but one of our viewers, inadvertently, I'm sure, came up with a word of the day that is just too good.
Oh, yeah?
Too good.
Okay.
Amazing.
You want to do it while I'm blending this blue?
Yeah, we could do it if you want to strike up the band.
All right.
Word of the day, oh hey, hooray! Let's laugh it up, don't delay. Word of the day, it's here to stay.
Okay, so we got a post, and you could look it back. You could look it up and go back, and it's there. It's from Daisy Wrench 4256. Daisy Wrench said, "I'm at the post office getting a bunch of stamps before the price goes up. But she misspelled, she was a typo, and she spelled post office, Pist. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been to the Pist office many, many times. Daisy. That is The best word of the day, phrase of the day ever. Thank you so much for that. First off,
Oh, that's great. Now you know she's probably mortified because she did not mean to misspell that. However, we appreciate you being a good sport about it because it's a great word of the day.
sometimes the genius has to flow through and you have nothing to say about it.
Right. Absolutely. That's so
Thank
great.
you. Great job.
Oh my gosh. I'm just
Back.
I'm looking at the comments. Back to the dead space. There you go. Oh, that's great. That's a great word of the day. Oh, Daisy. It was Daisy, right?
Daisy.
Yeah. And do you have her name written down?
I do.
All right, Daisy, we're going to pick a winner for a $15 gift card at the end of the program, but you're also getting one for that word of the day. So I will add your name to the winners list in the description afterwards, so you can reach out to customer service and get one too. Okay, so now I am going to color these flowers in jelly bean green, and then I'm going to color these flowers. No, actually I'm going to color the small, just the single ones in light spruce. And then I'll add that pop of jelly bean in there. All right, so let's do the jelly bean ones first. Yeah, we'll do the jelly bean ones first. Okay. Make sure I have the right blending brush for the job here. Okay. So we're going to do some jelly bean. I'm doing heavy toward the bottom and just getting a little lighter as I fade up, like that. Then I'm also going to do this one over here while I've got it out. I'm just going to pop that into place. And I'm going to add this one. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to switch. That's really funny. I know she didn't mean to be that funny, but that was very funny. And
She may not even know yet because she was out and about and she might be driving now and she'll have to find out another way.
somebody's going to have to tell her. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab that green brush again because I want to do the stem of this in the jelly bean as well. So this one's jelly bean as well. Okay. Now, these are going to be light spruce. So we're going to line those up. People are still laughing. That's great. I'm going to do this one.
Oh, there's Daisy. She said, woo-hoo. Who says public doesn't pay? Thanks.
That's great. Oh my goodness. All right, so I've got those two done, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish this last one, and then we can die cut these out, and we can assemble this card. Now, I have a couple options, too, for the greetings and the way we can do the greeting, but I kind of like the mix of greens there. So I'm really glad that the chat was like torn between those two colors, because I think having both of them is really going to make a nice impact. And I don't usually do that. I usually don't mix the spruces with the warmer greens, and maybe I should start doing that more. Okay, let me grab a black ink pad. So I got black onyx here. I'm going to stamp these two with black onyx now. This will give us our nice crisp black over those. Okay, that looks good. And you see there's no smearing of that, any of that ink, because we used a lighter color first. All right, and then this is going to go right up here into the top corner again. And we're going to stamp these in black as well. I'm doing the whole thing at once, hoping for the best. There we go. Oh, looks pretty good. Looks good to me. I feel like that technique right there just makes all of your ink blending look more vibrant, because there's just not that risk of your black ink slightly casting a haze or any, any graying of your colors. It's especially good for like yellow. My tidy towel, I forgot to close the lid, and so it's a little dry. Sometimes yellows can get a little grayed out with black ink, even if you heat set it, even if you do all the things. It's just one of those things. And so that's just a good technique to make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, let me find my stamp set so I can put these away. Trying to be good about putting my stuff away. Otherwise, I've literally worked on the floor because there was just no room left on my desktop. And I know a lot of you have done that too. I'm not alone there. I know it. I can feel it. And then I'm going to clean this stencil quickly. Let me back up just a little bit too. Okay. Stamps going up too? What's going on? What's that question? I don't know what that is. Yes, I'm not alone. Good. Good. It's always better. I mean, if we're going to have a shortcoming, it's good if we have it all together. Okay, now I got the die set here so we can cut these out. And look how pretty these colors look with this pattern paper. I think they're going to look really beautiful. It just pulls that purple right out, And both greens look really nice too. It's going to be fun. It'll be a fun card. Alrighty, now, before I actually get to the next step, I think we should do a greeting. So there's a lot of different things that we could do for the greeting, but I was thinking, I have this really old stamp set called Elegant Asters. And this one, Follow Your Dreams, They Know the Way. I feel like that will be a really good, greeting to put in the center of a circle. And this would be a really nice card for somebody. Maybe they got a new job, maybe they're getting married, maybe, there's all kinds of, they're starting college. So there's a lot of good uses for a greeting like this. Let me find a scrap here. This is not much of a scrap, but it's all right. So I'm going to use this. This is from the Elegant Asters stamp set. But you can use any greeting that's kind of like roundish. And we've got a lot of greetings like that probably in our collections. I have used and overused this stamp set so many times that it stamps perfectly every time because of how much I've used it. That's the key to making your stamps work better and better. Keep using them. You just use them and you get them so seasoned that they stamp perfectly the first time all the time. This is a great stamp set too. I have a million videos on my channel with this stamp set. A million. Maybe a million is a little broad, but... So now I'm going to cut that out with a circle die. And I'm going to use a double-stitched circle die. And that will look really nice just popped in the center of this cutaway. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. I wanted to get that die out so we could cut it out when we have the die cutting machine out. I'm oh, so crooked on the screen. I don't know if I can handle that. There we go. That's a me thing. All right. Now let's cut this out first. So again, I'm going to use that masking magic that I used for the first cut just to hold everything in place because I really want to have that centered. So we'll cut that out. And don't forget, gotta turn it back to die cutting. So I turned the little dial and now we're back to die cutting. We were set to emboss for the hearts. Oh, stamp prices. I thought you were talking about, you know, clear stamps. Yeah, I know stamps are going up to, like, postage stamps are going up to 82 cents, I think. But, you know, I know it, they say, well, just buy forever stamps, but how many forever stamps can you buy, right? You can try, but at some point you're still going to need stamps. Unless, you know, you buy, I don't know, thousands of dollars worth of them for the rest of your life, and nobody's going to do that. It is nice, though, to have, like, enough stamps that you make it through at least one price increase. I'm going to tape this one down, too. I notice you don't use the magnetic mat. I do use the magnetic mat sometimes. It just depends, but when I'm doing a lot of big open dies like circles and things like that, I never use the magnetic mat because you can't flip the magnetic mat over to keep it flat because you can only cut on one side. And just like any cutting mat, the more you use it, the more it's going to warp over time. So I generally only use it when I'm doing coordinating dies that have coordinating stamps, but I was already into this because I had already cut out those circles, so I'm just sticking with this right now. But I do use the magnetic mat. I definitely do. I love it. I just, if I'm sitting and doing a lot of coordinating dies, you know, stamps and dies, and that's all I'm doing, I'll reach for that mat. But a lot of times, like if I'm cutting master layouts, I'll never use the magnetic mat. Or like big shapes, because they're easy to cut. It's easy to cut a blank rectangle. You're not trying to line it up. It doesn't matter if it shifts a little bit. And it doesn't put as much wear and tear on that mat. So that's why. But this is going pretty well too. All right, let's see if we can do a couple of these. I mean, I can show you the magnetic mat. Let me show it to you. Got it right here because I used it in my last video. So here's the magnetic mat. It comes in a 3-piece set. You've got the magnetic platform. You definitely need that in order to make this mat work because it's a different width than the white one, like a different thickness. And then you put your stamps where you want them. And they stick to that magnetic. I gotta find the right direction for this. There we go. Now, even when I use the magnetic mat, I will not cut a whole sheet out at once because I still like to secure it a little bit. So I'll do a couple at a time. But the magnetic mat does work really nicely. Let me put these back. But you see, normally I flip my mat over when I'm doing a lot of die cutting, and you can't with this because the other side is not magnetic and you can't cut on that side. So use it for this kind of thing, for your die cuts that have coordinated stamps, and stick with the one that came with the machine for your bigger opening things like the master layouts and circles and squares and stuff like that. Welcome. Better late than never. That's all right. Yeah, we agree. We're glad you're here. Okay, so that's 2 more. Now I'll cut my single leaves out.
Question here. Tom, ask Gina what the adapter plate is ever used for.
The adapter plate. So the adapter plate, that plastic plate that comes with the intracut, is for your steel ruled dies. Now, a lot of people don't know what steel ruled dies are because they haven't been crafting quite as long as those of us that have been crafting for a million years. But if you're a teacher, you know what they are. So steel ruled dies are those dies that come in like a box, and they have like fabric on them, and you can't see the blade, and the blade only comes through the fabric when you die cut. You need that special adapter plate for those types of dies. So if you've got any of those Sizzix Bigs dies, Tim Holtz has some. I don't know if he's still making them, but he had quite a few of them in his collection. And they work great. That adapter plate works great for that. That's how you get those dies to cut in the intracut. We do not have a date yet for the release. But as soon as we have a date, I will be announcing it in our Facebook group. And also, I will let you guys know during my, whatever live I'm doing at the time when we have the date. All right, so here's my idea for this layout. So I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to have this. I love these scripty fonts too, because you don't have to worry about is it straight? It doesn't matter. There is no straight. Now I'm going to pop both of these up. I'm going to pop this up, and I'm going to pop this up. And then I'm going to put some flowers. I might do a flower here. Do a flower here. I might do a flower here. We'll see how this looks. I might just do this all on this side here too. And we'll leave that open so that you can see that opening there, because that's pretty cool, actually. Okay, so I have an idea here. Now, let's go ahead and pop this up. So I'm going to use foam squares for this. And I'm going to pop this up so there's more dimension. Now this one, I am going to do like a kind of an angled foam square here just to get in there. So I'm going to really do like something like that, because I want to get that point down.
A foam shard.
A foam shard. That's exactly what I need. A foam shard right there, because I need that to kind of stay in place. I'll cut that one down too.
Connie wants to know, do we deliver to the UK?
We do. We ship worldwide.
And we have some people over there who have our products too.
Yes, we do. We have some fantastic UK retailers. And the way you find out about our retailers is all you have to do is go to our website, ginakdesigns.com. And then there's a tab at the top that says Our Retailers. Click on that and you'll see our retail partners that carry our line. And a lot of those retail partners, there's a couple big ones there, and they carry almost our entire line. Our retail partners don't carry our card kits because they're exclusive to Gina K Designs, and a few other items which we can't wholesale because we actually pay wholesale prices ourselves, so we can't give a wholesale discount. But they carry almost everything. All right, so that's going to pop that up a little bit, and you can see that'll give us some dimension there. So let's get that in place first. I'm kind of excited about this layout. Okay. Now the other thing that we can do, and I didn't think about it, I was thinking about just mounting this right on a white card base and having the white go to the edge, but if we wanted to, we could trim this down just a little bit And then we could have a powder blue behind it. Let's see. Or somebody had mentioned cadet blue. Cadet blue is a beautiful color. So you could have like cadet blue back here. And then this on top. That would be very pretty together. Let's just take a peek at powder blue. Powder blue. Ooh, or blue sky too. Blue sky would be really pretty. Got to see how it plays with these colors though. No, it's too bright. I'm not even going to get an opinion on that one. Here's powder blue. Powder blue's got that deep purpley bluish finish to it. You know what I'm going to do too so you can see it better? I'm going to put a piece of white underneath. Just so that you can see the contrast a little bit better. So there's that. And then this on top. Do you guys like that? Or do you want to just go with that white? Cadet blue, huh? You like cadet blue? I'm getting a lot of cadet. I agree, cadet is a great color for this. Let's look at it up against the white here. Because I just want to have a thin layer. Oh yeah, cadet blue rocks. Isn't that funny how like all these colors together just look so good together? Okay, so let's do a little 1/4 inch border around the perimeter here. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to cut this first just down the center at 4 1/4 inches by 11. And then we're going to take this one down to 4. Let's do 4 by 5 1/4 first and see how that looks. 4 by 5 1/4. See if that's enough of a perimeter. I think I want to go a little more, but we'll see. Oh no, that looks perfect. That'll be perfect. Just enough to show that cadet blue and give the whole thing a little bit more interest. Okay, so back to this. Let's get this on here. So I'll put this. And I'm looking top to bottom, side to side here. Just like that. I'm securing that first, and then I'm going to secure this because I'm trying not to like bend it or twist it so that that circle remains intact. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm glad you guys like the cadet blue. It does look really good. Now, where is my super suit? This is what I need. Sorry for that noise. You okay there, Tom? Is there a lot of noise? Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to score this. I don't use cadet blue enough, and it is a spectacular color. You know, we get in our ruts. Do you guys get in ruts? I get in ruts. Like, I end up kind of always going to the same color palette. I'm going to put this white down just so we can really see the cadet blue and how pretty it is. All right, and then we're going to add this to that cadet blue card base. Oh, that's really nice. I like that a lot. It's funny too that we didn't use any cadet in those flowers, but it works. All right, now we're going to pop this up too. So let's pop this up in the center. Yeah, I get in ruts. I get like, I find myself always reaching for the same green, or always reaching for sea glass, or always reaching for, you know, lilac ink. And sometimes we forget that we've got all these beautiful colors. And it's almost like I'm going to challenge myself today to use a color that I haven't used in the last 2 months. And you'll be surprised how much fun that is. So I'm glad whoever suggested cadet, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to put this in here. Follow your dreams because they know the way. All right. And we've got dimension because of the popping up. Now we can add our cute little flower design here. We're just going to kind of go around in a semicircle, building a kind of like a wreath going around the side. And we'll add some leaves here. Some leaves down here, kind of swooping around. That's really pretty. I do like I like the mix of the greens here too. So I'm gonna add some greens here, like that. And I like when stuff goes off the edge. And we'll put one more leaf right in here, like that. There, that's gonna be our layout. Isn't that fun? It's just different, you know, that circle, just having that cutout there, just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna tape the leaves directly down. And I'm gonna jut this out even more. Put that in there like that, but I'm gonna like wrap these flowers around a little bit more curved so you really see that circle. But I like to tape the leaves flat and then pop the flowers up so you get even more dimension that way. All right. I'm going to do these together. Just kind of overlap them a little bit here and we'll get them right in there. Okay. And then this one, I think I will pop this one up too. I have a tiny strip here that came off of something that I cut earlier. And I think I'll just pop this. That's going to be hidden under there anyway. We really don't need quite this much, so I'm just going to cut that down. Yeah, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes we get stuck in layout ruts too. I do. I have a lot of go-to layouts that I use all the time, and sometimes my cards can start to look kind of boring because I'm using the same layout all the time and I'm not even inspired. I'm like, well, how is anybody else inspired if I'm looking at this going, you know, I've done this too many times now. Let me just move that down a bit. There we go. So it is kind of fun to just try something brand new. And also I want to show you, like if you are trying not to overlap, you can always put your square down first and then pop your flower on it. This way you know you're not overlapping on anything. So you can put your square here like that and then figure out how you want your flower to be positioned. So we can add a little bit of bling in there. We can blinger a little bit. Let me find.
I think you overbuild your cards, Gina.
I what? I overbuild them?
You overbuild them. You should work in like hurricane building code.
That's funny. They're very sturdy. They can withstand 70-mile-an-hour winds. Put a sequin down here. Maybe one over here. Maybe one in here. Okay, I'm using the Connect Matte glue. So if I do want to wipe any of that away, I can, and it'll just dry and it'll disappear. You won't even see it. I'm using our crystal clear sequins because there's not much to them. It's just a little bit of sparkle. They're very flat, and it's nice because they're not the star of the show, but they give you just what you're looking for, that little bit of twinkle in your card. There's a lot of glue here, though. I don't need quite that much. Okay, but that just gives us a little bit of sparkle when we turn the card. So what do you think of that layout? Isn't that fun? Just something different? Not your average, just squared off layout. It gives you a cute little semicircle kind of thing, a little crescent cut out there. And you can do this with other shapes too. If you wanted to do an oval, you could do an oval. You can do a square or a rectangle. And if you do have any of our single stitched and double stitched dies, you can get that nice little inner shadow layer too, which I think really soups it up a little bit. But you certainly don't need to do that. You could leave the whole thing just plain without the shadow layer as well. So what do you think, Tom?
Wow, that was fun watching that come together.
Yeah.
All those layers and
Yeah, well built. Levels. Overbuilt. Yeah. Oh, well, Tom, you and I are going to give away a gift card in just a little bit. And if you're new here and you'd like to be entered, all you have to do is leave a comment in the chat, and you will be entered to win. But before we do that, if you like today's video, and we certainly hope that you have, if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that certainly helps our channel, and it gets more people over to watch this video and be inspired as well. And also, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and all notifications so you never miss another video. And then if you are not a member of our Facebook group, come on over and join us. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. It's the Facebook group with 51,000 members, all showcasing their beautiful projects using Gina K Design stamps, dies, embossing folders, and other products. So if you're looking for inspiration for your card kits that you get from us or other products, you'll find it over there just by searching the group, and you'll see beautiful things. And then a shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you so much for helping us today link everything so people can find these products. Remember, the card kit's going to retire very soon, so if you haven't gotten this card kit and you like this stamp set and those silhouette stamps that I've been using, remember this one, it's all part of that card kit. So make sure you pick yours up. It's called Sunny Days and Breezy Nights, and this Cherry Blossoms collection is in there as well, the stamps, dies, and coloring stencils. But Brianne, thank you so much for sharing all those links and helping everybody. But if you missed any of Brianne's links, you can find everything that I used in today's video on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, Tom, are you ready to give away a gift card?
ready, ready, ready.
All right, here we go.
Today's winner is Mary Adams, D2F. Mary Adams.
Yay! Woohoo, Mary! You get a gift card. And then we also have the other gift card winner. Can you mention her again? The one who had the...
Daisy Wrench 4256 for her wonderful contribution to the phrase of the day.
Yay, Daisy. Great job.
Stopping by the post office to get stamped.
That was so funny. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you jumping in from home. I hope that you can make it back a little later today and we can maybe have lunch. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, baby.
That sounds good. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed this project, this fun layout, and I hope that you give it a try. Now, Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stamp and Chat Live. But until then, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And mwah, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.